Until and unless the divine feminine realizes that she deserves the happiness, that she deserves the wealth of life, she will never be able to enjoy what comes to her. In our Shastras, also, it's written just having Lakshmi is not enough. Bhog means getting pleasure out of the Lakshmi of life. So, more important is not to have wealth of love, life, or anything. More important is to have the intelligence, the diligence to also bhog, to also take pleasure in wealth of life. Especially when divine feminine doesn't respect her own self and abandons herself for others, tagging it as sacrifice for the higher good of all, not listening to her own intuition, it backfires. There are times when sacrificing our own demands, our own wants, our own needs for others for the higher purpose gives very fruitful outcomes, but that is very divine led. The distinction between the two is very important. Over here, what I'm talking about is the first, wherein a woman gets out of sync of her own intuitive powers. She lets go of her own self respect. Until and unless we women have the self respect, we cannot grow in life. And there are some purvards that help us grow in life, but once your purvards, the karmas that you've accumulated, also get over, you really face a difficult time. Wherever in your lives you are not respecting yourselves, please pay attention to that part and see to how you can honor the Devi within you. You can also think it in terms of getting decked up. Because if you're not getting ready, I don't mean getting ready by makeup. Getting ready can also be just taking a bath and feeling fresh. That can also be getting ready. So if you are not feeling fully respectful towards yourselves, and sometimes it's very intuitive and you know it. So if you're not able to respect the Devi within you, how can the energy of wealth respond to you? For example, if you go to a Louis Vuitton store, you respect yourself enough to tell yourself that I deserve this luxury brand. Many people don't even enter these luxury stores because they feel like they don't deserve it. It's not about spending money. I'm not even talking about you have the money or not, but the conversation, the energy that you emit decides everything. So when you're not respecting yourself to just even have a full meal on a nice plate, sometimes I have also seen women just take a chapati and roll it and eat. It's okay if you're on the go. Why don't you get a plate and serve to yourself like you're serving to a guest? Because you don't consider yourself that important. But you are the most important person in your life. Until and unless we women start respecting our own selves and telling ourselves that we deserve this, we cannot grow in life. You can sacrifice a lot, but the hidden anger will surface out in the form of diseases in the body. No wonder we are the carriers of PCOS and PCOD these generations ahead. Why? Because the previous generations were carrying so much of anger out of sacrificing and not living their lives fully, that the newer generations, they're still carrying the same DNAs, right? Are now taking out in the form of physical diseases. This is the intergenerational work I do also, and so I'm telling you that whatever you're feeling also is maybe not what is your real emotion. Maybe the feeling of, okay, let me give it to others, is being passed on by the lineages because you've seen your mother's, grandmother's sacrifice. And I'm not saying it's wrong, it's perfectly fine if you are serving also the goddess within you. So finding the right balance of where am I respecting myself and also respecting the others is the right way to honor the divine feminine inside you. I've been always telling you we are inherently the receivers, biologically also, we're the receivers of the sperms. So when you push yourself to only give, you biologically go against the energetic laws. Women were biologically wired to give through the emotions of nurturing. That is why, as soon as the mother delivers a baby, the lady is now a newborn mother. She inculcates the feeling of nurturing in her. It's very natural. And likewise, it's very natural for women to receive, but you can only receive when you know that you are deserving of it. Because our older generations of women, especially in India, have gone through a lot of patriarchal culture, we've been taught to sacrifice for the men. And because they couldn't revolt, now the revolt is taking place in the form of physical diseases in our bodies. Understand and reflect and become aware that where is it I'm not serving my divine femininity and the divine femininity of the women who were the carriers of this divine feminine before me in my lineage. It's very important for us to also talk to our grandmothers, our mothers. Please talk to them about the struggles they had to go through, because in sharing only is healing, and especially the intergenerational traumas we carry. If you have these people in your family, your grandmothers, your mothers, your aunts, please talk to them about what they went through. For example, my grandmother's sister, she was sort of molested by a person in the family, and in that time, in that era, you did not have the power as a woman to revolt against someone who was elder to you and you were having a kid in your lap. So she also had to think about the kid and imagine the trauma that lady carried with herself, right? Because her husband was not there. She had a newly born baby and she was molested, and the kind of steps she took, she returned back to her mom's space. And I can only imagine about the tragic trauma that she carried in her body, and imagine the tragic trauma being passed on to the progenies later on, right? So until and unless we look at these traumas of our ancestors which they had, we cannot get out of these traumas. And that is exactly why the soul contracts happen before we are born in our families. We sign these contracts that, okay, I'm getting born in this lineage, in this generation, to ward off this curse or to work on this part of my family's karma. So one is your own karma that you work on, and one is family's karma that you take on. The feminine wounds are very much intergenerational, and that is why being aware and questioning all the time about why am I feeling so, and is it the same feeling that also my mother was feeling or my grandmother was feeling, is the key. But just being aware and questioning is the key. Ask yourself, you are the best healer you can be. For my clients also, if I am facilitating them, I am not healing them, I am just giving them my interpretation as a facilitator. But the real healing happens by your own self. You have to be willing to do that. Just focus on your growth, and you can do that by questioning your own ideas of wealth. And all the time, whenever I mention wealth, it doesn't mean money. For the divine feminine, wealth is love, wealth is security, which comes from the masculine in a divine union. The idea of bhog, which is pleasure. If you are having it all but not able to cherish what you have, that is not real wealth. So Vishnu Maya Vilasini is what we say for Ma Lakshmi. So Vishnu Bhagwan has created this Maya, which Ma Lakshmi is reveling in. She's enjoying it. So imagine if Ma Lakshmi also said, No, no, no. I don't need all these things, Vishnu Bhagwan, because what will I do with it? And that is the duality of nature. Everything is nothing and nothing is everything. So when you say I don't want it, you want it as much. So when you say, yeah, I am spiritual, I am religious, but I am also materialistic, you are valuing every aspect of life. I'm not saying that be materialistic, okay? I'm saying that be open, be willing, because any which way life doesn't happen the way you want. So you just have to be willing to have it all. But many of us are taught not even to be open. Like I said, when you visit a luxury brand store, sometimes you just step back from the front gate because you're not willing to even enter. And that shows that you are not deserving in that moment of the Lakshmi that's coming to you, of the wealth. And that is why they say that birds of same feathers, same flock fly together. Why? The same vibration. And that is why keep yourself always in high vibrations of receiving. The whole idea of self respect and deserving can only serve you greater good. And many women have this problem of how can I switch like this? How can I? Because they're not used to, right? I tell them, don't look at yourself as you, look at yourself as Devi. One of my clients, like when she used to go to sleep, she used to wear torn clothes, old clothes, which she thought no one would see her in. Subconsciously, this tells you that you don't respect yourself in private. Because if you're really decked up during the daytime when everybody's looking at you, and at night when no one's looking at you and you're all by yourself, you're wearing those torn clothes, are you really respecting yourself? So these questions are to be answered by you only. And one thing I can assure you, that if you make these small changes in your life, slowly and steadily, your life will improve. People around you will also notice that we can't just play with this person because this person really knows what she wants. Now, the question is, where in your life are you not respecting yourself enough, leading you to lose a lot of wealth in life? By wealth, I mean the love of life, the pleasure of enjoying life, because that's the main motive. Even if you have everything and you don't know how to enjoy, your life will suck. May the Shakti guide all of us to greater heights. Jai Ma.